separately. Thank you for viewing it as
Good morning, everyone. Let's first finish off the two questions that are left. Then we revise the entire standard. And then we take your doubts. So come to question number 19. 1919. Let's do question number 19. Question number 19 on page number 188. Let's understand this question. It says, during 1415, an enterprise incurred cost to develop and produce a routine low cost, low risk computer software product as follows. The first expenditure was completion of detailed program and design. The next one was coding and testing. The third one is other cost. The fourth one is testing cost. The fifth is product master for training materials. Then you have packing of the product. The question is, what amount should be capitalized as software cost in the books of the company as on the balance sheet date, right? So they have asked you that out of these six costs, which is the cost that you will capitalize, right? Let's find that out. Put your first statement. As per accounting standard 26, intangible assets. Put your first statement. As per AS-26 intangible assets, we are doing question number 19, which is on page number 188. करना क्या है क्वेश्चन में? Calculate the amount of cost to be capitalized. Calculation of Prepare your format. You will have note number, amount in rupees. Prepare a systematic format, and then we solve each and every part of this question. Prepare your format properly. Okay, let's begin now. I would request you to understand the entire question first, and then I will explain, and then I will give you sufficient time to copy. So please first focus on what we are understanding. Right, the first point says completion of detailed program and design. So completion of detailed program and design. Now please understand, when do you capitalize? When all the six conditions are satisfied, that is the time you feel that the recognition criteria has been satisfied, and that is the time when you actually capitalize. Now in this case, capitalization will take place only after your detailed program and design is ready and the same has been tested. Now please understand, in the software industry, what happens is, first you make a program or you make a design, then you constantly keep testing that design. Once that design is ready, after that only you can say that this product is now marketable, which means the six conditions will satisfy only after your coding and testing of the detailed program or design is completed. Since in the first place we have only completed the design, we have completed the detailed program, but testing has not yet been done, this will not be capitalized, this will go to the profit and loss account. So we will explain that in the working note. Come to the next one, you have coding and testing. Again, this coding and testing will straight away go to the profit and loss account, because this, after this, we have the definition criteria fulfilled for capitalization. Now next is other coding cost. Ask yourself, other coding cost, is it after fulfilling the six conditions? Yes, because six conditions are fulfilled once the software has been tested. Now then it has been tested, whatever expenses will happen right now will straight away go to the cost of the asset. So 42,000 will be added to the cost of the intangible. We will take 42,000 to the cost of the intangible. Next one, testing cost. Now this is other testing cost. Testing cost, once your definition criteria has been satisfied, this will again be capitalized to 12,000. Next is product master for training materials. So you have product master for training materials. Your product master for training material is that whenever you make a software, you always get a user manual. Now that user manual is very important for the user to understand and to be able to use the software. So user manual is an important part of the software, and that will also be considered as a cost to the intangible. Look at the last one, packing of the product. Now, packing of the product is not a cost that needs to be capitalized. It's not a cost necessary to bring the software to its ready to make it ready for use. So packing of the product will again go to the profit and loss account. So let's name it number 3 and put a dash. See how much do you get? What's the total amount to be capitalized? Quickly on your chat box. How much will you capitalize in total? 67,000. So 67,000 is the amount to be capitalized. $67,000 is the amount that you will capitalize. Right now, important part is the explanation, the notes. So please pay attention to that and you will be completely clear with all the concepts pertaining to this question. Come to the first one. It says any expense that does not satisfy the definition criteria shall not be capitalized. The definition criteria shall be satisfied only when the detailed program and design is completed and the same has been tested. Hence, rupees 45,000. How did you get that? 20,000 plus 25,000. So it has to be 25,000 plus 20,000. Shall be recorded as an expense. Second, coding and testing expense and product master for training satisfy the definition criteria, hence they shall be capitalized. Finally, the third one, packing of the product shall be charged to profit and loss account. Right, that's it. Question number 19. All you have to remember is from which stage do you have to capitalize? You will capitalize once the coding and testing of the detailed program is completed. That is where you are confident that, okay, now my product will be able, now we will be able to sell this product or use it internally because the basic design has been tested. So after that, you will begin your capitalization. Are you getting it? Right. So if you have any doubts, quickly post that on the chat box. If not, take it down properly so that we can then go to the last question. So if you have any doubts, please post it. Else, quickly copy it down and then we proceed to the next part. Take it down properly. If you have any doubts, please ask me. There is a slight change in working note too. It has to be other coding cost. In working note 2, it is other coding cost and not coding and testing. Once you're done, please put done on the chat box so that we can move to the last question. Okay, I guess if everyone is done, let's go to question number 20. Let's do question number 20, which is given to you on page number 189. Question 20 on page 189. Okay, let's come to question number 20. Now, please understand this question. It's an interesting question, but a very simple question. Question 20. It says on 31st March 2015, the balance sheet of Alpha Limited shows an item of intangible at 30 lakhs. कब दिखा रहा है 31st March 2015 को कितना वैल्यू है 30 lakhs. The asset was acquired on 1/4/2010 for rupees 80 lakhs and was available for use from that date. Now let's calculate 80 lakhs का machine 80 lakhs का intangible इन्होंने 1/4/2010 को दिखाया था. आज उसका वैल्यू 30 lakhs है. मतलब 50 lakhs इन्होंने depreciate किया sorry amortize किया. Can someone tell me how many years have gone by? Can someone tell me how many years have gone by? 5 years. Okay, and how much have we amortized? And how much have we amortized? 5 years have gone by, but how much have we amortized? 50 lakhs. Okay, excellent. Which means, can I say we are amortizing 10 lakhs per annum? Yes or no? Can I say we are amortizing 10 lakhs per annum? Yes. Okay. If we are amortizing 10 lakhs per annum, 5 years 50 lakhs. So 8 years के लिए कितना year लगेगा? For 8 years, how many? For 80 lakhs to amortize 80 lakhs, how many years will you need? If you need 5 years for 50 lakhs, you need how many years for 80 lakhs? 8 years. Okay, which means they are amortizing based on 8 years. देखो आगे वो दिया है. The company has been following the policy of amortizing intangible assets over a period of 8 years. ये नहीं देते तो भी हमको समझ में आ जाता. Question ध्यान से समझना. How will you deal in the books of the accounts? In the company, if the company determines applying the best estimate of its useful life on 1/4/2015 and the amortization period will be 10 years, right? Being the best estimate of its useful life from the date when it was available from use, very important. Being the best estimate of its useful life from which date? From the date when it was available from use, which means हमने सबसे पहले 8 years डिसाइड किया था कि 8 years हमारा यूजफुल लाइफ होगा. अब हम ऐसा सोच रहे हैं 5 साल बाद कि नहीं, इसका यूजफुल लाइफ 8 years नहीं, टोटल 10 years होगा. Now quickly on the chat box, can I amortize until 10 years? Can the useful life of an asset be 10 years? Yes or no? Can the useful life of the asset be 10 years? Of course, yes. It says it cannot exceed 10 years. It will exceed 10 years only if you give convincing evidence. But till 10 years, of course, you can do it. Now, my next question to you is, in this case, can you amortize over 10 years? Yes or no? Quickly on the chat box. Can you amortize over 10 years in this question? Are you allowed? Of course, you are allowed. Because the accounting standard says it cannot exceed beyond 10 years, but up till 10 years, of course, it can. Are you getting it? Okay. Let's solve this question. Now, there is, if you observe, there is a mistake in typing the solution. Someone has, by mistake, copied the solution of question number 19 into question number 20. So I will put the correct solution over here itself. Your first statement will be, as per accounting standard 26, intangible assets. The useful life of an intangible cannot exceed 10 years. It can exceed 10 years only if there is convincing evidence that the useful life of more than 10 years is justified. In the given case, the company estimates the useful life of the intangible to be 10 years, which is within the limits of AS-26. Hence, the company can amortize the intangible over 10 years from the date it was available for use. The remaining value of the intangible, rupees 30 lakhs, shall be amortized over the remaining useful life of 5 years. How do you get 5 years? First you add 8 years minus 5 years plus 2 years, which will be total of 10 years. Take this solution properly. If you have any doubts, please ask me. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Otherwise, quickly take this solution. Right, I hope you all are clear with that. Okay, so I have one doubt which says, why have we added 2 years? So basically, you had 8 years as your useful life. Out of that, 5 years have gone by, so 3 years are left. Now, if your total life was 10 years, as we have assumed, 5 years have passed by. So what's your remaining useful life? 5 years. So 3 plus 2 will be 5 years. Your useful life has increased from 8 years to 10 years. That's an easy way to understand. 8 साल से आपकी यूजफुल लाइफ बढ़ के 10 साल हो गई. 8 से 10 साल बढ़ी तो 2 साल आपके बढ़े. That 2 years I have added. Right? I hope Samira that solves your doubt. Okay, fine. I guess we all are done with that. So let's quickly go to the summary of key points. Let's finish this off and then we go to a new standard. Let's quickly revise the entire standard using the summary of key points. The first one is definition of an intangible asset. So what is the definition? The definition says that it is identifiable non-monetary asset without physical substance which is held for production of goods, provision of services, rental to others, and for administrative purposes. Then we had end of deferred revenue expenditure concept. The deferred revenue expenditure that we used to do earlier is now brought to an end by accounting standard 26 since it does not satisfy the definition criteria. However, we must remember that if some other accounting standard tells you to defer, you will defer. If no other accounting standard tells you to defer, then AS-26 says please do not defer, charge it to the profit and loss account. Regarding accounting for intangibles, all intangibles are initially recorded at cost. What is cost? If you directly purchase the intangible, it is purchase price plus registration cost plus legal cost plus non-refundable duties and taxes and expenses to remove infringement. Any expenses to remove infringement before putting the asset to use, capitalize. After putting the asset to use, will be charged to the profit and loss account. If you buy an intangible but do not pay cash, you give some securities and fair market value of the securities issued. If you buy it in exchange of an asset, fair market value of the asset given up. After that, you have amortization of intangibles. The amortization will be based on the useful life or legal life, whichever is shorter. However, AS-26 makes a rebuttable presumption that the useful life cannot be more than 10 years. It can be more than 10 years only if there is convincing evidence that the useful life of more than 10 years is justified. The amortization method is you will always use the ratio of future economic benefits. If that is not available, you will use the straight line method. Right after that, you have the residual value. In the residual value, what will happen is the residual value of an intangible will always be nil unless there are two conditions. One, if a third party has committed to purchase the asset under a binding contract of sale, or there is an active secondary market where the residual value can be estimated reliably. Then we understood a very interesting concept known as research and development. Any expense pertaining to research will always go to the profit and loss account. Development, if all the six conditions are satisfied, then it will be capitalized, else it will go to the profit and loss account. The first point is technical feasibility has been established. Firm has the intention to use or sell the intangible asset. Firm has the ability to use or sell the intangible asset. There is a market for the final product where it is to be used, or if it is to be used internally, its usefulness needs to be demonstrated. Firm should have three kinds of resources: financial, technical, and other resources to complete the development work. And expenditure can be measured reliably. If all these conditions are satisfied, then you can capitalize. However, you must remember that if any of the six conditions are not satisfied or they cease to be satisfied, then the entire expenditure will immediately go to the profit and loss account. Any research or development expenditure which is already charged to revenue now cannot be subsequently capitalized to create an intangible asset. The other aspects of AS-26 are recognition of gain or loss on sale or write-off of an intangible should be recognized. We shall recognize the gain or loss straight away in the profit and loss account. Revaluation, as we have discussed, is not allowed as per accounting standard 26, and every year we should review the amortization period and the amortization method. Right, that brings you to the end of entire accounting standard 26. So quickly on the chat box, everyone, are you clear with AS-26? Quickly, everyone on the chat box, are you clear with AS-26? Right, I want each one of you to tell me clearly. So Akshay, Aman, Anjali, Aksa, Bhavin, Dipesh, Digesh, Harshit, Harshita, Het, Ishika, Ishita, Jalpan, Kajal, Khushi, Manav, Mukaddisha, everyone on your chat box, are you clear with this? Nidhi, Nikita, Om, Pavan, Pushti, Raghav, Raj, Riya, Rohan, Samira, Shifa, Shreyas, Simran, Spruha, Shrushti, Tulsi, and Yash. Are you absolutely clear with the entire accounting standard that we did? Fine. I guess if everyone is clear, let's take a 10 minutes break. I will again send you a link. Please follow that link and join the meeting again. And then we begin with accounting standard 11. So let's do accounting standard 11 now. So quickly take a 5 or 10 minutes break and then we continue with accounting standard 11. It is 8:50 now. So I'll see you sharp at 9 and then we begin with accounting standard 11. Right? I'll see you in 10 minutes now.